Welcome to the Web Development Crash Course, designed specifically for beginners by Wsuits Industries. Let's build the web together. Hi guys, welcome back to the Web Dev Crash Course. In this course, we're going to cover JavaScript. So, you may be asking what JavaScript is. Basically, when you open any website, for instance, when you open something like YouTube like this, whatever you do here, you see here is the front end, right? So basically speaking, whatever action you make here, there's something that is going to run in the background. So for instance, let's say if I click on this thing, the description of our YouTube channel should come out. Now, the server must run in the background, or a code must run in the background that is going to tell the browser to display what you are seeing right here. So JavaScript is basically like the brain of the website. You can remember that I said it earlier on the channel that JavaScript acts as the brain in the videos that we had right here. So now what we are going to do is that JavaScript, we are going to code it into our old portfolio project. Now remember that JavaScript is interactivity. Basically, it's like the electricity of a website, of a house. You understand? So now what we're going to do is that we're going to open our HTML CSS folder inside VS Code. After opening it, I want you guys to take a good look at the folder structure. We only have an HTML CSS document and a README file and our asset folder. So there's nothing else inside here. Basically, we do not have any JavaScript. So now we have to add JavaScript to it. Now what we're going to do is going to click on this and say script.js. You can name it anything you want as long as it ends with the .js extension. So now after doing this, we have to link our JavaScript to our HTML. What we're going to do is we'll navigate to our HTML side and we go to the last page. That's the last tag. Below, almost getting close after the body tag, you're going to type something outside the body tag. We're going to type script. So we're going to put the script tag right here. So we're going to say script. So this tag is basically used to link JavaScript to your HTML. So after typing the script tag, I can start coding in JavaScript right now. But that is not what we want to do. We can simply code in JavaScript here. But because this is a cybersecurity channel and we do not want to practice bad habits, so what we're going to do is JavaScript is not good to input your JavaScript inside your HTML document at the same time. The best thing to do is to link it to another JavaScript file. So to link it, after creating the script tag, we use the source tag, that's the src tag. Then we specify the location of the JavaScript file. Now, after specifying the location, we can now code. Now, to check if your JavaScript is actually linked to your HTML document, we are going to run our HTML document. We're going to run our HTML document. After running our HTML document, we will navigate to our JavaScript file. Then we are going to type this, alert, hello world. Now, when I type alert hello world, you can see this pop-up right here. This pop-up right here shows that our JavaScript is actually working. So the next thing we are going to learn is basics of JavaScript programming. Now, as a programmer or developer, you must know some basic logic. The first logic we are going to learn is variables. Now, think of variables as a container that is containing data. So you can name your variable. So to name a variable in JavaScript, we have two main ways. We can use the let keyword or the const keyword. So the let keyword, we can simply say let name equals to Osman. And I'm sure those who have covered my Python course will know what I'm doing right here. We are declaring a variable, a container. That is why when I click on this, you can see this box right here. It means the name here is containing Osman as its content. So the name is simply a variable here. So a variable is simply like a box or container that contains information. So the let keyword is used to tell the browser that we are declaring name as a variable. So the next thing we are going to learn is const. Now there's a difference between const and let. So we can say const age equals to 80, 180. So we can say const age equals 18. And you can see here I'm storing a number. So basically in JavaScript, the difference between let and const is you can change let. You can change the name as time goes on in your code, but in the age you can never change it because you used the const keyword. That's the difference between let and const. Now, what we are going to learn is we want to have to understand something called data types. Now, in JavaScript, we have so many data types. We have the string, we have the integers, we have floats, and we have Boolean, and there are more. We have objects, we have dictionaries. So right now I'm just going to teach you the three main. That is a string. A string is simply a text that is in between the quotes. So even if you put a number in between a quote, the number becomes a string. But if you remove the number outside the quote, it remains a number. We have a float. So I can say let GPA equals to 4.5. Then this becomes a float. A float is a decimal number that has a point. You can see it right here. So the last thing we are going to also do is a boolean. So we're going to say const, then we are going to specify a name called hacker. Am I a hacker or not? And I say true. So boolean simply comes with true and false. So this is basically how you can name variables in JavaScript and the types of data we have in JavaScript. So after doing this, in JavaScript or in coding, you need to comment in your code. Like the way I commented in our code right here, like using HTML comments that you can see right here, you can also comment in JavaScript. So what we are going to do is, we're going to type this // then we type anything. Whatever we type here is not going to be run by the browser. The browser is going to think that this content right here, it doesn't exist to the browser. So we're going to say naming variables so that if any other programmer has taken our code, the person can understand what we have here. So this is what we call comment. It's a comment you have made on the code. So we now understand variables. Now we need to understand something called the DOM. The DOM is known as Document Object Module. Now I want you guys to type something on your browsers. Navigate to your browser section, type Control Shift all together I. So we're going to combine everything together. Or you can simply come here, you right click, go to inspect, and it opens this. Now I intentionally did this for you guys. When it opens like this, click on element tab. When you click on this, you can see that whenever I hover over this, it's kind of highlights some content. Whatever you see here is known as the DOM. Everything here is a DOM, and you can see that when I break everything down, you see I can close it. So let's concentrate on our header section. You can see our header section contains the header, it contains the nav, it contains the UL tag, it contains list, and the list contains a link tag. So it's like a tree. So the document object model is simply a directory or hierarchical structure of elements on a web page or website, or a website being rendered by a browser. So that is what the DOM is. So DOM, we use JavaScript to manipulate DOM. Simply means we use JavaScript to manipulate elements on this website. You can manipulate this image. For instance, if someone has hovered over this, what should happen? If someone clicks on this, what should happen? So we are going to learn them right now. So we need to now do our DOM manipulation. So we type a DOM manipulation. So what we're going to do is we need to select elements on our website. We can treat those elements as HTML, as variables. So I want us to concentrate on this right here. I'm going to give this a tag right here an ID. So I'm going to say ID, then I'm going to give it click. I'm going to give an ID of click. Now, I need to select this element on this HTML using the JavaScript. I must select it. So what we're going to do is that we navigate to our JavaScript and we say let click equals to, we are saying let the variable click equals to document. That means the HTML document dot getElementById. So we are going to get any element that has the ID of click. So right here, we're going to check whether it has an ID of click. And yes, it has an ID of click inside our HTML. So if The click variable now represents this tag right here. This code you are seeing inside HTML, this click represents it. So we're now going to specify a function, but before we do that, we need to select the click. So we say, now we're not going to select the variable, we're not going to select the ID again. We just have to select the variable. So we're going to say click dot add event listener. So in JavaScript, you can use some specific keywords to perform some specific functions, like the way you saw me use the alert. You cannot memorize all of them. All you have to do is sit down and code. When you code, you understand the tags as time goes on. So when we click on click.add event listener, we need to come inside this curly bracket. Now in this this parameter, it takes two types of arguments. It takes the action and then it takes the function. We are going to say click. So you can see that they have so many functions, actions there. I'm going to choose click. After choosing click, anytime the user clicks, a function is going to run. So we are going to create our function. So we do curly brackets, arrow, and I bring the curly bracket again. So we're going to have a bracket that represents the function in case we want to input some stuff, and this curly bracket right here represents what is going to happen. So inside here we're going to type what will happen if someone clicks on this. So we say alert, hello world, you have clicked the button. So let me open the JavaScript full code for you guys, console. So this is what you are seeing right here. We declared a variable, selected it in the DOM, and then we have used an event listener to listen for someone who is going to click on that element. So when we type this, let's go on to our JavaScript, our HTML, refresh it. Now let's click the button. Good. When we click the button, you can see that the alert function has worked. It has printed out something. Now, I want you guys to know something called the console. When you navigate to your web page and you right click right here and click on inspect, you can see that there's some tabs right here. Now, right here, we have something called the console. The console is simply where you load your JavaScript code. Simple. So what we are going to do is that we are going to load JavaScript code inside here instead of displaying it here. So basically, it is what is going to show what is running in the back end. So let me give you an example. When I navigate to Wsuits YouTube channel and I open the inspect and then I click on console, you can see that something is loading right here. That means the console is actually doing something is happening in the back end. That is why you see this. Good. So what we're going to do is that in our JavaScript, we're going to change this alert into something called console.log. Console.log. So we'll type console, we'll cancel everything here and type console.log. Then we say running in background. With the understanding of JavaScript, you'll be able to even start into other higher coding stuff. When we type this, anytime we click on this, something should happen in the background. So we need to click, open our developer tools, go to console, then click on the home button. Then you can see that it shows running in background right here. So this is the very introduction to JavaScript, and this is what we are going to use to add some functionality on our web page in the next tutorials ahead. Please like, share, and subscribe.